Sitting across from Rico Beard. Happy Friday.
It's for you, my friend.
The only member of the show not participating in Floral Friday, but I'll let it slide. I don't know if everybody else will, but I appreciate you, Rico.
You know what? There was a reason for that. I can only throw myself at the mercy of Kenny and hope that Kenny one day will love me again. But all the news going on with the Pac-12.
Let's get into it.
I'm on my phone and I'm talking to people on the West Coast and I'm talking to different people around and just trying to figure out everything that happened this morning.
You get Gene Smith on the phone? What did he tell you?
Gene Smith is Ohio State. He doesn't.
No, but you guys are tight. I heard that the other week.
He's a little busy. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, you refer to him as Gene.
Right.
So you're working your other
he's
sourcing.
Mr. Smith to you.
Okay.
Athletic Director Smith to you.
So you're working the phones. You're trying to put this together.
GS.
They're initial basis.
Yeah.
For people who are listening to Doug, they're well aware. For people who are just tuning in to us, this has been moving pretty quickly. I think you said it was a 180, then a 360.
Right.
This was going to happen, then it was off, and now it is very much back on. Oregon, Washington expected to join the Big Ten, expanding to 18 teams. The two schools have informed the Pac-12. Reporting is that this is, in fact, happening, Rico.
Yeah.
And the breakdown is that these schools are going to take less money than the quote-unquote traditional Big Ten schools just so they can get off the sinking ship that is the Pac-12 conference.
That was because I think that a lot of the posturing today was the bargaining chip.
Mm-hmm.
It really all came down to Oregon. And for about around 8 o'clock this morning, as I'm driving to the barbershop, Oregon was headed back to the Pac-12. You know what, guys? We'll be the big fish in a little pond. It's guaranteed we're going to make the playoffs every year. All right, we'll take this money. But then it was, seriously, we only get, I think it's either $24 or $28 million with the Apple TV package.
Correct.
And then all of a sudden, if Oregon was going to go back, then I think Arizona was saying, well, if you stay Oregon, we'll stay. And Washington's like, all right, guys, I guess, you know what? We're the new Pac-12. We'll bring in Hawaii. We'll bring in San Diego. We'll fill this thing out. And then it changed again. Breaking news. I forgot who had it first, whether it was Pete Thamel, whoever it was. Somebody broke it. I apologize if I didn't get it correct. Nope. They're leaving. And they're headed to the Big Ten. They'd rather take the Big Ten's smaller payment of, let's just roughly say, let's say the Big Ten offers them $50 million a year to join the conference, rather than the Pac-12's $28 million for Apple TV.
This is the reporting from Yahoo. Cut rate 50%. The media deal from the Big Ten could reach $65 per year, so cut that in half. It's still more than the Pac-12 was supposed to get from Apple TV, which was quoted $20 to $25. So even coming in at half the rate, they're going to make more money than staying out west in what was left of the Pac-12.
Half the rate, plus you're going to go into a conference that's stable.
Growing, too.
I don't know if it's growing.
Growing or swelling.
Right. Because there's a difference between the two. When your conference is growing, it's getting stronger, it's getting better. Swelling just means eventually it's not there. And the swelling, like if you stub your toe swells. Eventually it comes back down. But at the time, you got a big toe.
No one wants a swollen toe.
No.
But you're the one that always tells us about TV markets, and Seattle is a pretty big TV market. So it's growing, right? That's an increase for the Big Ten.
No, because, David, here's the problem. It's swelling because the deal is done.
Yeah, David, I think long-term the answer is yes, but they just signed this Fox TV deal, so there's not more money, more revenue coming in with Oregon and Washington. In fact, everybody else is going to have to take a little less spread out among the other 16 teams to accommodate. Now, long-term, when it comes up to re-up in 2030, then they'll say, we've got the Seattle market and we've got Oregon and their flashy uniforms and the brand and Nike, but they're not going to generate revenue for the conference for several years.
And if that's the case, David, that's why I say it's not growing. Because if you're the Big Ten, do you really need Oregon and Washington? Do you need them? Not do you want them, do you need them? Because here's the thing. If you wait When your contract is up, I believe, in 2030, you go get one of these ACC teams. And now you're looking at potentially Miami and bringing in the Miami market. You're looking at, Carolina and Charlotte market. You're looking at other teams that you can bring in. Right now, I think it's a rush to judgment. Hey, we need to just scramble and pick up these teams. But I would be the voice of dissension in the room saying, guys, no. Let's just stick with what we have and wait this thing out, because we may get better teams rather than just going out and getting teams because they're available right now.
So where are you guys at? Like, we bring this up, conference expansion rumors turn to reality. 248-539-9797. Is the Big Ten growing or swelling? How big is too big? It's up to 18. What if they get to 20, as Rico has talked about? 24, 32, 64. I mean, I'm being ridiculous, but at some point.
Does it just, or are we just headed to Big Ten versus SEC?
Haves and have-nots. Are you in one of the big two?
Because I think, I want to say I was talking to somebody, and Ryan Day brought that up 2 years ago at Big Ten Media Day, and said if you're a team and you're not aligning yourself with the Big Ten or the SEC, you're on the outside looking in. And that's really what happened.
So the Big Ten throws Washington and Oregon a life preserver today. We still don't know when they would officially join. Is it with USC and UCLA as soon as next year?
I got to think so, which means...
What about these protected rivals? What about our divisions back? Are we in pods? Are we in... I don't know. We don't have any of these answers. So, you can get as granular as you want with us, but I do just want your first blush reaction as a college football fan. If you are a traditionalist, like Doug Karsh, how are you feeling today? You said you need a hug, buddy. How do you feel if you're a traditionalist? Or, Rico, you said some of those traditionalists are kind of hypocrites because at the end of the day, what?
Yeah. At the end of the day, you're watching a conference die right in your arms, and you're picking the carcass clean. It's dead. You are Allen Iverson stepping over Lou in the NBA Finals. That's what you're doing right now. Oh, Pac-12, let's just go ahead and take those last couple teams. You won't be needing these teams because your conference is dying anyway, so we'll go ahead and take them. If you're a traditionalist, you should be upset about today. This is bigger than NIL. This is bigger than transfer portal. A conference that's been around for over 100 years,
108,
is now dead today. Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Both schools, Oregon and Washington, been in the Pac-12 since 1915.
That's when it founded.
Woo!
When it started. So this is an iconic brand, the Pac-12, and it's dead. It's dead, and the shovels are out, and they're going to bury it in the next year here as everybody exits.
But, hey, congratulations. Here in the Big Ten, we are officially a have. So, 248-539-9797. Big Ten fans, are you excited? Oregon, Washington, joining the Big Ten. The Big Ten will expand to at least 18 teams, 4 teams on the West Coast. Are you happy about this, or do you think maybe this is too much? Because honestly, I don't know where we're going with this, but the days of everybody playing everybody are gone. You may not see teams for 4 to 6 years after you play them, because if you're constantly going through the rotation of teams, the rivalry games, we talked about it before. I don't know if you can do rivalry games and do the schedule, because now do you treat certain teams better than others, or do you just put everybody in the basket and pick the teams?
The short answer should be yes. You should preserve some rivalries, because some of those rivalries are the most watched games, and TV's the thing that's generating all this movement to begin with. So, yes, you should always play Michigan-Ohio State. There's too many TV eyeballs and dollars advertising to not play that game. But then where is the line? What's the cutoff, I think, is a fair question. And the bigger the conference gets, the harder it is to draw that line. We've seen some rivalries just vanish, like Bedlam's going to go away, Oklahoma State. The Apple Cup, dead. The Civil War, Oregon State, dead. Now, that's not our problem in Big Ten country, but the question is when it comes to our doorstep, and you can only play, let's say it's a 20-team conference or a 24-team conference.
Right now,
you can't even play half the teams.
Right now, it's an 18-team conference. That's 17 teams besides yourself. Even if you did like Doug said, hey, go 8, you keep one protected rival, you play one team, and you're still not going to see West Coast teams or other teams for at least 2 years. If you just did a home and home, you did a home and home with Indiana and a home and home with UCLA. That means you don't see USC for year 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And then you won't see UCLA again.
And then what are you? Are you even a conference at that point if you aren't playing a chunk of the teams in the conference for years at a time?
And that's why I'm saying at this point, get the rivalry game, you're like, hey, they're the most watched games, but here's the news flash. Here's a dirty little secret when it comes to the networks. It's kind of like season ticket holders. Once the team has your money, they don't care if the seats are empty. They already have your money. If we talked about the Lions yesterday selling out. The Lions, they go 0-10 and nobody shows up.
See, so negative.
No. Doesn't matter. Sheila's got her money. She doesn't care if you show up or not.
Meaning now that the Big Ten has their TV deal, if they don't deliver the high ratings, check still cashes. Okay, so things could be compromised. 248-539-9797. Good thing, bad thing, the ramifications of Oregon and Washington joining the Big Ten. It's 97.1.